Hello everybody and welcome back. Thanks for visiting my channel. And I started doing a series, or I had the idea of starting to do a series on tutorials for teachers. I've been getting questions from things from Google Classroom, Google Forms, and a bunch of different software I use. So I decided that I guess in this time it'd be good to get some videos out on how to use some of this software and just things that and things inside the software that maybe you didn't even know about before that are there, and why I even might be using some of these. So I decided to start with Google Forms. I feel like it's a good platform to use, being that Google is everywhere. A lot of schools are using Google Classrooms, and Google Forms are just an easy way for students to respond back, especially in this time with distance learning, to respond back to you, and then for you to quickly assess to see what they know or don't know. So I'm going to give you a run through on Google Forms, how I'm using it, and some features I like about it and how it works. So this is actually one that I've been used that I made earlier today, and it was based off an older review sheet I had. So I'm going to show you the review sheet and then show you how I brought it over into Google Forms. So the review sheet I had for my engineering course was pretty basic review sheet, just in a Google Doc, and I have everything from matching in there to basically, checking off things in different boxes, multiple choice questions, some short answer. So it's the full gamut of pretty much anything that you would possibly want. So to get some of these over into Google Forms, you're like, oh, it's like annoying. Like, how am I going to get matching over into Google Forms? And it's actually not so bad, and it works out. And depending on how you set up your sheet, it actually is real easy. Things like short answers, those are obviously easy, but I'm going to just guide you through now how it looks. So I'll go into like kind of a split screen here. Go. And show you kind of like question by question. This is only 10 questions long, how it works out. So I have something. So this is just a photo from a field trip. I imported in, the kids, no one's seeing each other, so it's kind of cool to see some of these photos from field trips. Kids kind of like it when they show up on like a little review assignment, right? You put in some sort of title and then the form itself. So when you click into it, it's really easy. Just type away. You can put images or anything else you want. Question 1, right? This is a very basic question, just matching. What I have them do is on this document, I have them open this up. Then they can go into this one and then draw the lines. They could do it digitally or print it and take a picture. The way they upload it is with a file upload. That's how they answer it. So if you're curious how it looks, I do have some responses. So I can click into a response here. Okay. For that question and open it up, and you can see they just basically take the pen tool within Google or whatever it is and mark it up. Pretty easy to get to, and then you can see this in a spreadsheet form too as well. Okay, let's go back to the questions. All right, so that's one, using matching. Here with number 2, this one they have to check off whether these equations are for work or power. So for this, you can actually set it up as a checkbox grid. So you'll have your rows, whatever it might be. So I have here work divided by time, power times time, and then the columns work or power. Then for their submission, so let's click off of that question, they just merely check off whatever one it is. Pretty easy. Question 3, multiple choice. This I liked, and I didn't realize Google Forms could do it until I actually did it. When you do a question in Google Forms, you type it in or copy and paste it in, what I do. But then you can copy and paste all of these, click into the first one, and paste the answers in. I'll show you. I'll do one right now. So this, let's not duplicate it. I'll add a question right in. All right, so I'm just going to take the question right in. Then I highlight and copy all the answers. Go here, paste, done. It doesn't get any easier than that, so I really like that. It's a nice feature. Question 4, another this one's a short answer one. So I just basically have them put the short answer in. I don't put everything from the question into it. I want to use them just as basically a form. You really don't need all the questions, but I feel like if there was a numbering or a problem or anything like that, then they'd be able to see the question to be able to go back to it. Short answer. This is the same thing, adding a file. So you click in, you can have them do a file upload, and that's what I did for this. So it's another matching one. Pretty cool. And then same thing, short answer, multiple choice. I really like the checkbox grid so that you can do multiple things. and you can see the checkbox grid there as well. So those are just some of the ways to kind of do it. So we could really just run through and make another one up. And once you have this, you're good to go. And then you can basically click on your responses. You get to see from the different people, you know, like who's responding to what. So you can click through. You can go question, so you can see the question and the responses there. Or you can go to a summary view, which I like as well. So you can see who answered, how the kids are answering for each of the questions, what they're putting in. So there's like a number of different ways. I look through it basically kind of like this. I'm able to check through the individual students. Once you have this all generated, so I have this form generated, you can go to a preview here to see how it actually looks. So there it is, how it looks for the students, which we've pretty much seen. Let's scroll right back up. Close out. You're going to want to generate the link. So if you go to send, right? So you have send via. Actually, before we do that, let's go to some settings. Some settings I use. I collect email addresses, response receipts. I always have them send back the response receipt just in case they say, oh, I never submitted it or whatever, or there was a problem. At least then they can just take that email that's generated to them and put back. Restrict it to whatever is school. You don't have to. I do. Limit to one response, right? And the file sizes I'm going to worry about. Presentation, I show the progress bar. And then the quizzes, you don't have to make this a quiz. It's a feature I haven't really used yet. So I'm not really too worried about it, but I'll do something with that later on. So you save that. Once it's good to go, you hit send. You could take this link right here. You could shorten it, put it right out onto Google Classroom. And I'll show you how I set it up onto Google Classroom. So basically, you can copy that link. Then I'm going to switch over here to Google Classroom. So this is the actual assignment here. So let's click into it. So what we have is the instructions right up here. So Sim Review 2, it's the name, points I've given it. And then inside, I just post the link to the actual assignment. So let's go go to edit. All right, so I'm gonna link, I basically put in the actual assignment and then I put the link in here to the Google form. So as long as they're signed into their Google account or the Google School account, which they have to be to get to here, it's gonna open right up and then they can answer. So I use like a split screen so they can look at the question here and put the form in or the answer on the form there. And that's pretty much it. So that's a real quick overview of all the of some of the features with Google Forms that I have found to be pretty useful. I like it. It's pretty nice. On the other end, on Google Drive, we can go back to look at there. You can see that they have their file to responses. So I can click into that, and then it shows me all the responses there. So I can look at just an individual question and kind of see what they're putting in. So it files all their responses there. See, there we go. There's another one like that. So those are all filed and good to go. So that is on that end. Let's click back here. So it's pretty nice. So I'm going to be making more of these coming up. So probably the next video, I'm going to go through an actual one start to finish and show you how it's also used like that. So then you can see the actual time it takes to go from a Word document to a Google form and then submit it. Right now, this video is just a quick overview of some of the features. So that is pretty much it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please email me. My email is at the end of the show, or you can reach me on Instagram at StanoHacks. There too. All right, everyone, have a good night. Take care. Bye.